Coach, quite a piece you have to work with for your first match against LA.
It's awesome. Well, we got to make sure he's eligible. I mean, we're hoping so. We're keeping our fingers crossed. But, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
When he gets implemented, is it just something, I mean, you have ideas already. What can you tell us in a broad brush?
Well, the key will be how we implement Nico with Clint. I think those are our two main guys that'll be able to carry us offensively, and making sure that we give them the creative freedom, because I'm not going to tell Clint how to attack the goal. I mean, I'm not going to tell Nico how to pass the ball. I just want to make sure that I put them in the right spots and I surround them with the right players and then let them do what they do best.
In your experience, does this lift the players around a great talent?
It should. I mean, every guy that's come here that's new and fresh, they always add something. Whether you're $60,000 guy or a $6 million guy, everybody that comes on that's new, it always lifts the level of training.
I guess what is your biggest challenge with a talent like this to implement it? What is your biggest challenge as a coach?
Getting to know him. I want to get to know him on a personal level, make sure that he's happy here in Seattle. It's my home as well, so I want him to feel very welcome. I want him to acclimate himself with not only the city but with the fans as well, because I think the fans will really enjoy watching him play. I think that's important. There's always been that relationship between the fans and the players. So some of those off-the-field stuff will be a challenge, but at the end of the day, my job is to just try and win games. So I'll just have to try and, like I said, implement him with Clint and make sure we win some games.
What's your thoughts at the personal level of the roller coaster of the week? Just you being a Sounder person, fan, steward, as you would say, in the past few days.
Well, a lot of news. There was a big article in the Seattle Times this morning. I actually read the paper, and a lot of stuff on social media. So it's been a big news week, and this is Nico's edition is just kind of a good highlight to end the week on a positive.
Coach, you personally, how do you feel? Yesterday you were sad, or it was a different day, and today, as your first day as a coach, how do you feel?
Well, I woke up with a smile on my face because I woke up, and it's going to be exciting. I think the fans will be excited, but also myself as a first-time coach here in Seattle, as the head coach, I am excited. And it's always nice when you have players of his caliber that are presented to you. So it's going to be a challenge for Ante, Tommy, Jimmy, and Dave, for us to get him integrated in the team, make sure he's physically ready. But I'm a strong mentality guy. I like players with strong mindset, and Nico is ready to play. He told us upstairs that he wants to do everything he can so that he can be available for Sunday. And again, we're just hoping that happens.
Taking into consideration what you've seen out of Lodeiro, his attributes, what he brings into the pitch, where would you ideally would like to put him? More on the wing, more behind the two forwards?
I want to put him in a spot where he touches the ball as often as Clint. I think those two, if they get as many touches as they can, something good is going to happen.
In regards to you being an intern coach, is there any kind of pressure on you, thinking that you got a certain amount of time to maybe prove yourself or prove to the team, anything like that?
There's only the pressure that I put on myself, even when I was an assistant, to make sure I did a good job, because I have a fierce loyalty to the club. And every time I did my job, whether I was the assistant or now as the interim head coach, I do my job because the club is important. So that's the way I look at it. There is pressure. It's a professional game. I understand all of that. We have 14 games. We need to win. You can do the mathematics. So there is pressure, but for me, it's more opportunity than pressure. Because really, if it doesn't work, I can honestly say that I will do the best job I can.
Nico aside, how will a Brian Schmetzer team look different tactically than a Sigi Schmid team, or will it?
Well, That's a very good question, because, and here's the reason why. I think Ziggy and I over the years have got along great. I have some different ideas that I plan on implementing. There will be some subtle differences in how we play, but until I can incorporate Nico, that's going to make that's an important decision to make, because if we get it right, and Jordan, Nelson, Nico, and Dempsey are all clicking, and I put them in the right position tactically, then we've done a good job. If it doesn't work and we fail, and he's not getting enough touches or Clint's not getting enough touch, then you know that it's going to be, not as good for the club. So I don't have a definitive answer until we can get those two players together out on the training field, play some games, and all the stuff you watch on film is important, but actually getting them to pass the ball to each other on the field is most important.
For what's probably a variety of reasons, it seems like Clint Dempsey's dropped back a lot this season. He's been picking up the ball in midfield, playing that kind of role. Whether or not it was an intentional part of the tactics, are you hoping that having Nico out there is going to allow Clint Dempsey to stay as close to the goal as possible?
I would hope so. I would echo Garth's thought on that. It's Clint's a dangerous goal scorer, and he did have to come back at times to help, get the ball from our defensive half into the attacking half, and as he did that, he was sacrificing a little bit of his game to help the team, and we appreciated that. But now I think we have a player who can actually get Clint to focus on what he does really well, which is, obviously he's very technical, he's a good passer and all of that, he's got good vision, but also get him in front of goal where he can score and help Jordan and Nelson with some of the goal-scoring duties.
Coach, have you talked to the team about Nicolás Lodeiro, with the members of the team? Yesterday.
We spoke with them.
How are
They were fine. They were fine. It again, from a coaching standpoint, it's always better when you bring players in, because they help you win games, but it also lifts the level of training because there's competition. So what we want to make sure that we do is we have competition at all spots, because sometimes it's difficult in our league in MLS. There's a salary cap and payroll, and guys think that, okay, this guy is always going to play. Well, we want to change that. We want to make sure that there's competition every week for starting positions, and Nico has just raised that level, up to here.